Welcome to another video by me, MaximiY. Today, our video is going to be about the Object 777, or as it's more popularly called, the 777. This is the armor profile, and now that you've seen it, with that out of the way, let's get into the video. We begin this game on mines. Now, this is a map where you have two fairly uneven spawns, and the one that I am on gives me an advantage. Now, it'll take a little bit of time to explain that advantage, so that's maybe for another video, but for now, all you need to know is that I'm starting from a little bit of an unfair position already. My team is more likely to win on this side of the map. So, I push straight up to the map instead of going to the heavy side, because the control of this hill is very important. If you allow tanks to get up, as this Karo is trying to do, it can then rain shells down on the enemy players. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that the enemy does not take control of that hill. That shell on the 183 was an absolute scam. I think that should have hit. And it's a very Soviet-esque gun, because it hits a shot like that on a retreating E50M. And then here I decide to use AP, do a little bit more damage to the lower plate of the KPZ-50T instead of loading high explosive anti-tank, which would actually come in really handy a little bit later. Like, for example, there, you can see that I could have easily just shot him in the turret, which I then do to this E50M. The penetration on the 777 is what makes it such a dangerous tank. If you can't pen it with AP, no problem. Just switch to high explosive. And there you go. I just did that again. Kaboom! To that IS-7. That IS-7 sucks, by the way. He's camping in the back. You should never, ever do that. That 183, however, is hiding himself better, and there we go. Look at that. Another shell that should have hit and just decides not to. But it's important, however, is that I hit every shot that actually matters in this game. And even here, it doesn't feel like I've done that much damage, but I'm already up to 2,000. And I've blocked 1,400. That is already a lot. And now I'm up to 2.5. And this is really the power of the 777. You just spit out shells like it's nobody's business, because as long as you're in the right position and as long as you have enemies in front of you, you can hit them and you can pen them, causing damage. That is what makes the 777 so much fun. Good turret armor, decent hull armor, decent side scraping capabilities, and a high penetrating, high damage per minute gun. Many people try to compare it to the 5A, the 113 GFT, the Chinese heavy tank. But I disagree. I think they're two very distinct vehicles. And for example, right there, that Kron hull would not have been pennable in many other tanks, but it was for the 777. And now, boom, again, we are actually able to hit the IS-7 by aiming in. We're up to 4,000 damage, and we still have so many tanks to go. Another shell into the Kranwagen, dealing 440. Again, very nice. We're doing very well this game. And that shot probably hits because everything goes well. And next, we are going to try to move up to this Kranwagen. I try to switch to high explosive, but here you see, first of all, me not having enough damage, not enough penetration for that. And two, this absolute rat of a T-57 decides to go to our rear. I will completely ignore him as he is very low health, but it is a 3v3 now. But again, I'm just not scared of it because I have my teammates supporting me. We're back to a one tank advantage, and this Kranwagen cannot advance. Even though he's in a hull down tank with very good gun depression, he cannot challenge me and the Jagdpanzer. And one of the essential reasons is that side of the map does not allow for tanks with low gun depression to perform as well as this one, nor does it have as good protection from tank destroyer positions, whereas this side does. So we are up to 5,000 damage. That is insane. You don't even notice how the damage racks up. It's not like it does it in a second. No, it racks up slowly. And in this game, we were able to do that. Now look at that shell. That annoys me so much. It just goes right through the Kleinwagen, and it's not what people often call a ghost shell. No, this was not a mechanics failure. It was a aiming and random number generator failure. But there we go. We cleared the Kleinwagen, and now I'm up to 5,700 damage. So we only have the I7, so I just rush in. And notice here, this is a very cheeky shot. I know that my penetration is high enough that I can do this. Bam! 420. Now, even if I don't get that final shell, and I already know I've dealt enough damage, but luckily, I am the first to get there. I load and slam that shell into the I7, guaranteeing the victory. And there we go. This is a game I am happy with. This is a high damage game that was even good enough to get me my second mark, crap load of credits, an ace, and that's the video. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.